Welcome to the FIFA World Cup. We are going to look into a report that we've created for you guys, which shows you how goals are scored in the group stage of the 2023 Women's World Cup. This has been made in Power BI, and we are going to show you the step-by-steps needed in order to replicate this report. We will start off by showing you a little bit how the objects, the text, the colors, the typing, the pictures and logos have been added, and the various text boxes as well. And then we'll delve into the grouping of the data and how I did a little bit of cleaning behind, and then just some very basic DAX calculations that we used to create this report. So let's jump into Power BI. We are in Power BI and we are ready to start to replicate, or at least show you how we can create this report. Obviously, the first thing we did, we just had a blank slate and we added a background color that we were happy with. So if you would like to have the same color, you can come back here. Let's see what the actual hex is for this one. Let's have a look. More colors, and we can see this is the one. So pause the video if you like this color and you can use it yourself. So I always like to just put that straight in to begin with. There we go. And we have our background color as we start to play around with our workbook. What we will do now then is just show you this one. So I always like to use Arial. I think it's a very clean and nice font. So this is Arial Black. I sometimes switch between Arial and Arial Black. So this is a simple text box. So if we were to create the same one, I'll just show you once. If you are new to this, no problem at all. And we can type in, for example, Women's World Cup. I'm not going to take all of it, but let's just give you an example. Arial Black, we can put 24, and we can put the same color or a different color if we would like. We can put in the middle. Let's just see if we can get our background. Oh, sorry, I had a transparency on 100%. There you go. And there we have our first object in the report. So here we can just remove the background and you got it straight away. So it's a really, really nice font. I really like it. So this is one I highly recommend you to use that is already pre-installed. So that's how you can add all the text. So we've used the text here, as you can see. We just had a little bit slightly different color and size on this one. The same with this one. This one I also just added manually. Of course, you can just do this with the formulas. I did not do it. I just added that simply manually. But it was just to show you and also give you a little bit of inspiration how you can create a report. So that's how you add the text. The same here, text, text, and text. These are not text, these are text, cards. We'll get back to those a little bit later. What I want to show you also how to add is these two. So what I do here, I just save a picture. I come to locally on my laptop, and then I come to image, add an image, and you just select the ones you want. What I've done with Hinata is that I found a picture that I liked online. I took that into PowerPoint and I used the remove background function in the picture sections. Then, in order to sort of crop out all of the background, and then I put her transparency slightly lower so the colors are not too strong and takes too much focus out of this visual. So I then after saved it as a PNG file, and then I just put it in here. So this is just a simple picture that I've created using PowerPoint, transparency function, and the remove background function. Highly recommend you to get into that, getting to know those PowerPoint functions really well, as I use them quite a lot to add objects into my reports, both in Power BI and Tableau. Let's have a look at how we've come to include all this data And sorry, the last one I wanted to show you is this one. This is just a blank one where I just added some shadow. I removed all the background and everything, so this is completely transparent, but I have added some shading, some black with outside center, just to give it a little bit of depth, so it's not too flat, the report, so it gives you a little bit of a different feeling when you're looking at it with the shadows, that it has a little bit more depth. I really like that. It's a preference, you don't have to do it, but I really like to do that myself. Okay, sorry, just to show you this one. So you can use this one, add here, remove backgrounds and everything, and you can play around with how you would like it or not. So play around with that yourself, and there you go. Then looking into the data, I have two tables that I've played around with. I'm gonna jump into the editor so you can have a look at what I've done in order to get what I have. Obviously I have the raw data, which we'll not jump into. The raw data, I have removed a lot of columns as the data set is quite big, so I've removed the majority and only kept the essential part, which is obviously the goals, whether it's a penalty, the minute of the goal, who was the goal scorer, and some other basic things like who played the game, etc. What I've done is obviously just filtered out what I don't need, extracted minutes. So I use the time and duration function that I'll show you up here. Let's see, this one. So when you select the column that you would like, you can select this one and you can just flick around what you would like. Do you want it in time, hours? Do you want it in minutes, in days, or whatever you want? I've just changed that into minute. So if you come over here, let's have a look. Added custom. It's a little bit slow sometimes, this one to load. Let's give it a few seconds and hopefully it will arrive. Let's see. Okay, so for example here, you can see, sorry, let's have a look. Game minute, added custom, extracted minute, there we go. So from the match runtime, I've just extracted and turned that time into time minute. So that's one simple way you can use these functions up here to just take out the match runtime. What you then have to do, if you come here on added custom, I have used a if statement. So based on the halftime, because the halftime and the game minute was a running in that half. So when the half was the first time, you could just go 1, and then when the match runtime is not 1, meaning it is second half, so most likely 2, I could have put 2 instead, then just add 45. So whatever that match runtime is, add 45 to that to make sure it's the second half. So that's all I did on this one. I just turned this into a whole number as well. And then for the other one, I did a little bit more, not too much. I did some of the same things. We can come in here. What I did was to just say whether it was a goal or not. So give me the count if there is a goal or there is an own goal. So for every row, I then had to come over here, we had a goal, yes or no. So 0, 0, 0, a lot of zeros, but then you have some ones. So when I came here to group the data, I put them all together by the number of the game. So based on match number, group all the data. I want a home team, I want a away team, number of goals per game. So just simply count the rows for every entry, for every row, sorry, that gives me a count, and then just sum the number of goals, yes, because this match number can have multiple entries. So if there's one entry with own goal, one entry with goal, with goal, with goal, that sums up and it gives me the number. So if we exit this one, you can see by the match number, first game only had 1 goal, same with this one, only one. But then we come here to Spain, Costa Rica. We can see there was 3 goals that's been summed up. This one at the end, I didn't use, so I could have just removed this one, and also it's wrong how it is at the moment. Oh, sorry. So I could simply have removed this one, but let's just leave that as of now. So if we come back here, close, and we go back into our report, we can see we have some of this data I've just mentioned. We have home team, number of goals, match number, etc. So in order to get started, what I did is I add a simple card out here. So it can be a new one like this. So if I was gonna replicate this one, you can see what I've done here. I simply take the sum of the number of goals. So select the visual, sum number of goals, and you can add. You see straight away that gives you a count. So we could have just changed this one into a sum, and there you go. You can just simply modify this one a little bit, put that to 0, and you can play around with the effects yourself if you want to remove the background, etc. and everything. Okay, let's remove that one. Remove that. Penalties. How did we create penalties? That is very, very similar. The only difference is that we added a filter, because we have penalty, free kick, corner, and just normal goals. So what's been done is that you add the count simply of just an event, because an event is for every single row. So you have 126 rows. You add the event, so that if you take all of this, it gives you 126. And then you just simply select penalty by adding the event into, the action type, because that's the column that describes what type of goal it was, onto this one. So if we, for example, just remove this one and we add again, we could then just select penalty, and there we go. And that's how we created penalties. For games ending 0-0, we simply took the count of the match number. So we are on the other table, and then we know the number of goals per game. So here we just added number of goals per game as a filter, and we selected 0. If there are 0 goals in a game, that's a 0-0 game. Then we did the same for this one. Obviously we just changed the filter, and we said for all the games with 3 or more, give me the number of goals. And then for the last one, this is just simply give me the count of all the players distinct. So for every new name, count that name of the players who have scored a goal. So that's how we created all of these cards up here. This final one is also quite straightforward. This measure is simply just how many games do we know it is in the World Cup. I know it is 64, so I just added and say measure equals 64. You can of course rename this one to say number of games in World Cup if you want, but that's 64. And then I just added count the number of match numbers that is in the table here, because we know it's grouped by match number, so there's only one per game. Then this one was the one where we had to create a tax formula, because I wanted to have this type of text down here based on the game minute. So if you come here, you can see 5 minutes bin. So if you come on a 5 minutes bin, what I did is that I rounded using the floor function. So I said round game minutes down to 5. So if it's 4 minutes, that goes to 0. If it's 3 minutes, it goes to 0. And take that 0, put a slash between, a dash I think, and then do the same again, but add 4 minutes. So that gives me 0, 2, 4, and then just continue that for all of them. So you can see the increment is 4 every time, so, or 5 actually, but between the two, it's 4. And that's how I created that. So I put that on the x-axis, just counted the action types to give me the number of instances. And then I had a half already, which I just put on the legend to get the color. And then I just created one sort because I wanted this one to be sorted correctly. I created the 5-minute sort, which is the same. Just give me simply this one, round it to 5 minutes, and then put it on the tooltip. And then I come up here, select sort axis, max of 5 minutes, bin sort. So that's how you create this chart. You play around with your visual and colors and everything yourself. You put half of the legend to split between the first and second half, and this one then, if we have a look at just this one, the colors I've just selected myself, and then I just select the bins that I've created. Give me all the first bins, and then for this one, give me all the other bins. So you can see here quickly, and there we go. So that's how you, very straightforward, create this report yourself. If you have any questions, you're struggling, or there's anything you want to know more about that I forgot to cover in this video, please feel free to drop a comment in the section below. Send us an email at info@sporthorizon.co.uk or drop us a message on LinkedIn. Johannes Martinussen is myself, or Kieran Dealey, which you also can contact if there's anything you are concerned about or you didn't manage to do yourself in this report. So hope you enjoyed this video. If there's anything else you want us to have a look at and show you how to do, please let us know, and speak soon.